Exervitorio. So we have initialized the variables, then proceed, display product information, code, description, and unit price. Display purchase item character Y and N. If the user input character Y, this block will be executed. If the user input character N, this block will be executed. Else it will be displayed as an invalid input. So input product code. If the user didn't input any of the set product code, it will be displayed as an invalid product code. So if the user input the product code of JDJ00, which is in the case 1, he will be moved to the next block, which is the case 1. Case 1 connector, display enter quantity, input product quantity. Is product quantity greater than 0? If no, display you cannot enter any negative. And if yes, product description, display item details, counter increment is counter greater than or equal than 5. If yes, display auto products because it must be not exceed to 5 products. So if no, display add item, character Y or N. If the user input the character Y, he will proceed to P order. If the user input the character N, he will go to order info. If and else, it will be displayed as an invalid input. For order info, display order information. Is I is less than product code dot length. If yes, this block will be executed. Is product quantity greater than 0? If yes, this block will be executed. If no, I increment. Is I is less than product code dot length. If no, display grand total. Display new customer character Y and N. If the user input character Y, he will proceed to P item. If else, the user input the character N, display thank you for shopping with us and if they use else display in invalid input.
Hi, my name is Benedictine and I'm going to discuss this part and the contents of this labeled loop. So, this part is the initialization of variables. After that, the product information will be displayed containing all of the information about our products. Next is this labeled loop. So, this labeled loop validates the user input so that the user can only enter the letter Y or N. Let's say, for example, the user entered Y. This block of code will be executed up to the line 445. So this loop validates the user input, the code that will be entered by the user, so that the user can only enter a valid code. So let's say, for example, the user entered JDJ000. This block of code will be executed. This loop validates the quantity that is entered by the user so that the quantity is always greater than 0. After the assignment of these variables, item details will be displayed containing all of the information about the item. This if statement is evaluating the CTR variable, making sure that the user can only add 5 items at most. This loop is just like the other loops. It validates the user input so that the user can only enter the letter Y or N. The cases inside this switch statement is basically the same. They function the same. The only thing that they differ is the values in these variables. So if the user entered N, this block of code will be executed and the program will be terminated. But if the user tries to enter a character other than Y or N, this block of code will be executed and the program will jump to the start of this label break.
So hello everyone, I am Darren Barlos. So I will continue the explanation Benedict Ositeo source code. The 473 to 489 line is an example of for loop. The aim of this is to access the contents of array n in order to do so. We must type the array's name and index we want to access. For this source code, we declare the I is equal to 0. Then there's product code length which indicates how many have already been stated. For example, 5 proclaim which is why 5 is declared from line 17 to 21. What occurs in code here is that since it is not 0 than less than 5, and it will be executed inside the loop. As the result, if product quantity I and product quantity 0 are both bigger than 0, the code would be displayed if the user is larger than 0. If we don't have the if and empty arrays or index, the code would be displayed. The loop is just the validation of user input. When the letter Y is the input, it repeats the very beginning of the program. The program ends when the letter N exists. After the grand total has been displayed, this loop will be executed.
Hi, I'm Kenji Goson, SIT 101I. First, the product information will be displayed, and then the program will ask if the user wants to purchase an item. If the user enter Y, the user would have to enter a valid product code and quantity. Next, the item details will be displayed, and the program will ask if the user wants to add an items. In this example, I will type N. After that, the order information will be displayed, containing all of the information from the recent transaction as well as the grand total. Then the program will ask if the user is a new customer or not. If yes, the whole program will start again from the start, but if not, the program will exit.